Okay, good morning folks. So this is your first maths lesson for the week. This is Sunday's maths and we are starting a new topic today. We are going to be learning about angles and our first learning target is to measure angles in degrees. So this week, if you happen to have a protractor at home, that would be really useful. Okay, if you can't get hold of one, if you don't have one, that's okay. We've kind of found like a interactive version that we can use online, but it would be really great if you do have one of these. It will come in useful from tomorrow. Okay, right. So, angles. When two lines meet at a single point, so just here, the space in between is known as an angle. Okay, so there are two angles here. There's one angle there, and there's also an angle there. Okay, so we're looking at when two lines meet at a point. Okay, so we show, just like I was saying, there are possibly two angles there. So to show the angle that we're talking about, we need to put a little arch in, and this will show the angle that we are talking about. Okay, so what we're going to be learning today and getting confident with today is different names for different types of angles. Some of these you should already know, some of these might be new to you. So it's really important to get the vocabulary right for this week. So an acute angle, a right angle, a reflex angle, an obtuse angle, straight angle. Let's have a look at these in a bit more detail. Okay, so an acute angle is an angle that is less than 90 degrees. So that's anything from 1 degree to 89 degrees. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees. Okay, so we have those two straight lines are meeting at a right angle. An obtuse angle, that is greater than 90 but less than 180. Okay, and let's look at some more. So those ones you might be familiar with already, or you might have been reminded of. Right, these ones, a straight angle. So if a line is a straight line, the angle will be 180 degrees exactly. A reflex angle that is greater than 180 but less than 360. So here we've got an acute angle there, but the one we're looking at, which is the one with the orange arc there, is our reflex angle. And a full angle that is exactly 360 degrees. So there's 360 degrees in a full circle. So having this page, having the page with this on it, open today and referring back to that will be really important, okay? So it's a case of just getting familiar with all of those angles and seeing by the end of the lesson today if you can describe all of those angles without looking at the pictures, okay? That would be a really good test of how well you've got today's learning. Okay, so we're going to have some fun hopefully today. We want you to make some angles, okay? So you need to do this. You need two long straight things. It can be anything that you've got at home. A little piece of string, or you'll see in a minute I've drawn mine, a flat surface, a camera so you can use an iPad or a phone, imagination, and maybe pick collage. I'll show you how that works in a moment. Okay, so this is your job today. You have to find these 11 angles. Okay, and you have to make them yourself using your straight objects. Okay, so it could be whatever you like. You could use different objects for each angle. Right, so I've used here, let's look at this acute angle. So for my acute angle, I've used two pencils. And I've just drawn in the angle here. It's really important that you don't just put your pencils together. It's really important that you remember this little arc, because otherwise I don't know if you're talking about this angle or this angle here. Okay, so be really clear, label it up. I've got my number 1 and I've labelled it with acute as well, making sure we're spelling that vocabulary right today as well. So then my second one is a reflex angle. And you can see again, it's really important that I have marked using that arc. Okay, so Pick Collage. You've used this in school and it's a free app that you can get. So what you can do is I've taken those two pictures, and obviously you guys need to do 11 of those. So once you've taken your photographs, you can make them into a pick collage. Make sure they've got the numbers on, make sure they've got the name of the angle on as well. And then pick collage is a really nice quick way of making one photograph with all of those angles. Okay, you can kind of play around, you could add You can add a text box in if you haven't labelled them yourself, and you can put a label next to them and a number next to them as well. So we've used Pic Collage at school really well. That's a good way of doing it and having all 11 photographs in one place. Okay, so have a bit of fun with that. Use what you've got at home. Get really confident using that vocabulary. So when you're making your angles, make sure you're saying, I'm making an acute angle, it's an acute angle because it's less than 90 degrees. If you're confident with that vocabulary and with that understanding, you'll be well set up for the rest of the week.